Good morning. It's Monday, so it's time for a book talk. I've been really busy this morning, but I'm going to talk to you about 3 different books, and then I'll try to throw a couple other things in there real quick. One book I read recently is Homecoming by Cynthia Voigt. Originally published in 1981, 1 year before I was born. And I'd seen it around, but I'd never read it. And I'm glad that I did. I saw it when I was scrolling through reads online, free books from public library, and I was like, oh, that looks interesting. Let me check it out. It is part of the Tillerman cycle, which I believe there are like 10 books or something. Nope, 7 books. There are 7 books in the Tillerman cycle. The most familiar ones are Dicey's Song, which is number 2, and Solitary Blue, number 3. Homecoming was also, looks like, a National Book Award finalist, but it is about a set of siblings, okay? There are 4 siblings. Dicey's the oldest, and I'm not going to name all the other ones, but there are 4 siblings. The oldest is like 12 or 13, and the youngest is 6. And their mother has been having a hard time. She's lost her job. She's having trouble, keeping food on the table and stuff. So she's packed all the kids into the car and told them that they are on their way to see this aunt, okay, in another state. So on the way, they stop off at a mall, and she says, I'm going to go into the mall. You guys wait for me here. And she never comes back, okay? So they wait for her all day and all night, and they finally realize she is not coming back. They decide, okay, what are we going to do? So the oldest one, Dicey, decides they're going to continue on to find this aunt, okay? So she is responsible for feeding and sheltering her younger siblings all the way, walking for like 2 weeks to try to get to this aunt's house, okay? Things happen along the way. I'm not going to tell you everything, but it's really it's a very interesting story about abandonment, about what it means to be a family, loyalty, sticking together, who can you trust, what is important. Lots of themes there as far as, like I said, loyalty and family and belonging, and what does it mean to be cast off, or cast aside. Like, what does that say to you about who you are as a person? But it was very good. It definitely holds up still. Of course, it's very 80s, but very relevant still today. I mean, a lot of people think about the past as this, whitewashed, perfect time in which nobody ever abandoned their children. No one experienced mental illness. No one, had almost got abducted when they were trying to go somewhere. But those things did happen, and this reflected in this book. I think that this would be a good book for people who enjoyed something like The Outsiders because of those themes of loyalty and family and belonging to each other. So if you like The Outsiders, come and check out Homecoming by Cynthia Voigt. Another book that I read recently was also on from Reads was Pan's Labyrinth, okay? Guillermo del Toro and Cornelia Funke. If you've read Inkheart, then you know who that is. Pan's Labyrinth was also a movie. I watched it a long time ago, and I don't remember hardly anything about it except for the big scary fawn. But the book was great, okay? It's about curses and stuff like that. There's this little girl, and her father has died, and she has had to go with her mother, who has married this evil man, and she's gone with her mother to go live with him, and the journey has been terribly hard on her mother, and she's now bedridden, expecting to have this man's baby. It's a big deal in the story, the whole interaction with the evil stepdad. There's also a rebel group. It's set in Spain. There's a rebel group of anti-fascists who are the evil stepdad is fighting against, okay, or he's trying to root him out, okay, and they are trying to maintain their independence and get the fascists out of their area. But he's a really awful guy. But in the meantime, this young girl has been told that she is this princess, okay, by the fawn, and he's given her several tasks to complete in order to be able to access the realm in which she is actually a princess and not just the abandoned daughter of parents that are either deceased or interested in something else. But anyway, the two stories go along together, the story of the rebels and the woman that's helping them, and then the story of the little girl and the fawn. It is really, really good. I would definitely recommend it if you like stuff like that. And the last one that I read is called Monday's Not Coming. And we do have this one physically in the library. I read it in physical form, but I left it at my house. I'll bring it here tomorrow. It was really, really good as well. It is about a girl whose best friend has disappeared. Okay, they have been best friends since way back, since elementary school. Okay, and the main character, she's just come back from Georgia where she spent the summer with her grandmother, I think, and she just can't wait to see her best friend Monday and tell her about everything. And they're in 8th grade, I think. It's their last year of middle school, and Monday never shows up to school. Okay, Monday never shows up, and she keeps telling people, like, hey, my friend is not here. Where is she? Like, I've tried to go by her house and her mother won't tell me anything. Her sister says she's with her dad, and then she says she's with her aunt, and I can't find her. Where is she? Someone help me. She talks to the principal. She talks to a teacher, and nobody can seem to locate this girl, but nobody really seems like it's a very big deal. Oh, she's with her dad. Oh, she's over here. Oh, she's done this. Maybe this day. I don't know. Whatever, But something is wrong. Okay, the main character keeps thinking something is wrong. Somebody help me find my friend. Okay, and I'm not going to spoil the ending for you, but oh man, this particular author, the other book I read by her, allegedly they did the same thing to me. They had me here, and then at the end you're like, nope, you're way over there. And I was like, So anyway, it was a really good book. It did move me to tears at certain points, but I highly recommend it if you want a great unreliable narrator story. It also touches on a lot of issues dealing with social services, and the main character, I believe, is dyslexic. She's been hiding that from people for years. There's mental illness. There's all kinds of stuff going on in this book, but it's a great read, and I definitely recommend Monday's Not Coming, and also Allegedly by the same author. And I'm probably going to read her other book that I'm staring at right now on our new bookshelf called Let Me Hear It Rhyme. I'll read that next and tell you about it. Okay, I know I talked a lot already, but just to remind you, book fair's the week after fall break. Also, book bingo. Okay, fall break bingo challenge. Remember, there are 2 squares on here you don't have to read a book for, but all the other squares are books. If you fill out 1 square and bring it back to the library, you get entered into a drawing to win possibly $20 to spend at book fair. Every square you do is another time your name gets put in the box for the entry. So that's another chance. It increases your chances to win the money. If you fill in even 1 square and bring it back to the library, then you get a fancy bookmark and your name goes in the drawing. Okay, but for every additional one you fill out, you get another entry. If you get a bingo, you get another bonus entry. If you black out the whole thing, then you'll get to spin our prize wheel and win another prize. Also, if you donate $1 to All for Books, then you can spin the prize wheel for that during book fair. And what All for Books is all that money goes for books. Okay, and this year our All for Books money, we're going to use that to help you teachers build classroom libraries. Okay, we will depending on how much money we get, we will divvy that up and let teachers use that money to help build their classroom libraries, and or hopefully be able to give some of that money to students in need to buy books from the book fair. Depends on how much we get. Okay, if we raise enough money, then more people get more books. Okay, those are not books for the library. Those are books for you to read and have in class or to take home. Okay, so anyway, that's all. Have a nice day.